In this video, we will answer the question for long-term investors, for people who are passive. Is it okay to accumulate right now? What are the reasons why, if you are a passive investor, if you are a person who does not really want to look at the nitty-gritty of the ticker on a daily basis, is it okay to start buying even in the midst of uncertainty? So if you want to know more about that, then you have to check this video out. Hey guys, so it's October 2020. We have seen the index go up from the lows of March, but it's still nowhere near the highs of where it was 2019, 2018. Given that we have that scenario, given that there's also uncertainty, given that we still don't have a vaccine in sight, it's not coming this 2020. Given also that economic data has been out already and there's an expectation that it's still not as good, our guest will try to explain to us that, in his opinion, it's a good time already to start accumulating slowly while there's an expectation that things will get better later on. So before I show the interview, please do remember, I hope that you are writing things down, you have your notes, you get the principles and you get the strategies. But no matter what's said, do not buy or sell or avoid or hold the stock just because someone is saying it and speaking about it over YouTube. You have to do your due diligence, and the goal and the heart of this channel is just to give you information so that you can make the right decision when it comes to your money. So enjoy the rest of the video. Hi everyone. So we are back with Ren Agawa, CPA, MBA, CSS, Certified Securities Specialist, Certified Money Market Dealer, Certified Fund Manager. Before we do this interview, I want you guys to look at this. So why should people avoid buying stocks now and wait until August or September this year?
Because there's a lot of uncertainties right now. We're not sure as to when the virus will be really eradicated, will be really resolved. And that by the end of the second quarter, most likely earnings report will be out, GDP will be out, and most likely it will disappoint. And this will result to lower prices. So by the end of August, by the period of September, we'll be able to see lower prices.
How are you, Mr. Ren Agawa? It's been 4 months, 5 months since we last did this video. We last did an interview. Nakalipas na yung August. Before we go and delve into that, how are you and how do you think everything is doing in the Philippines?
Well, as we all know, we're still stuck here. Good thing here is that people are starting to realize that we really have to protect ourselves. So a lot more people now are wearing masks, face shields, and people are starting to realize that we need to follow rules.
So I will go back to what you said, that do not buy until August 2020 because that's when corporate earnings, Q2 corporate earnings will come out. That's when the GDP disclosures will come out. Ngayon, lumabas na siya. We are officially in a recession. GDP is negative 16. A lot of the companies have either lost money or slashed a big chunk of their earnings, or for those that earned, they have very, very low income also.
As an investor, I mean, you don't want to position yourself in a situation that is uncertain. More or less, paparating na syempre kahit papaaning third quarter figures, which is, again, we all know it's going to be bad also. At least you know how bad it is. No, that's the important thing there. No? Because if you know kung asan ka, you know how you are going to proceed. By now, I think people should consider start accumulating already. Because again, number one, you know how bad it is already. May reference ka na. No? So the variables that were unknown back then is not that as many as compared now.
It's expected na masama pa rin. What's different in the economy now that since, okay, the data is there, there's an expectation that it will still be bad. Pero bakit ngayon? Why do we start accumulating now?
In a situation like this, it's very obvious, no? Businesses cannot stand on their own. The good thing here is that dumaan yung Bayanihan 1. And then dumaan yung Bayanihan 2, which is ginagawa na natin, di ba? These actions by the government supposedly should steer the economy. Because there's no other way for an economy to move if people don't spend. We know that the equities market, pare, alam naman natin na it's a forward-looking market. Which means na kahit wala pa yan sa eksena, for as long as the news is there, and for as long as you know when it's coming, the equities market will factor that in already. And the good thing here is the story of the vaccine. You know, first question, will it be available already? Answer is no! Will it be available this year? Of course not. Di ba? How about next year? No also. So what's so exciting kung bakit 2022 pa? Why would I invest now? Because at least alam mo na at this point in time, entities will be able to figure out how would they proceed. Wala ka na sa dark. Hindi katulad pare dati nung nagsimula yung pandemic. People are totally clueless how they're going to proceed. And if you are an investor in the equities market, hindi mo naman sasabihin sa sarili mo na sa 2022 ka pa mag-i-invest. Ngayon ka na papasok, di ba? Because again, as a forward-looking market, yung effects noong hope na yun will be factored in early. Finally, we all know what happened sa fixed income market this year, di ba? Rates went down, di ba? As rates went down, the prices of the bonds went up, di ba? So may pupuntahan yung mga fund manager. Why would you expose yourself in the equities market where everything is uncertain? Nakikita mo naman na ang prices ng bonds are going up. The rates are projected to be low for longer. Why? Because people need money to pump up the economy. People will need money to start their business. So what will happen is that to entice people to borrow, your interest rates should be low also. Fund managers will be forced to reconsider going to the equities market for the simple reason that wala kang mapupuntahan na iba.
For those who start accumulating now, how long would you think it would take before they come in?
Of course, we know that when the foreign funds go back, yung bilis niya is really fast, di ba? Of course, it's a given, di ba? Regardless of the situation, you shouldn't be really putting your hope in that kind of situation. No? Because the reality is, you have really no idea when it's going to happen. No? You have to decide based on the variables that are at hand. If these guys go back, the foreign funds go back, of course, as far as pagbilis ng pag-akyat ng equities market, mahina ang weeks or months time because bultuhan pumasok to. Nakita naman natin for nung mga happy days natin sa equities market, di ba? Even us, we're surprised, di ba? I mean, ours lang, pumasok lang to, tumaas na, di ba? So we really don't have any idea kung gaano kabilis or gaano katagal. Even when we talk to other fund managers, they would say the same thing. So which is why, again, I'm going back to my early statement. If you want to enter the equities market, enter now. Accumulate now. Because the reason why we are down right now is not because we are bad. If there's one thing that the other economies cannot take away from us is the demographics. The labor force, no, is going to be there for quite a while, no? That core, these are the spending group because these are the guys who will have jobs. They don't have jobs now because either they got laid off or yung mga bagong graduate na walang trabaho. These are the guys, diba? But it will not be forever. At some point, these guys will be employed. And that is going to be our strength.
Given that yung PE ratio natin is around 19 right now, and then they start accumulating, is there a particular PE that you're looking at that at least when the market as a whole hits this, it's your opinion na sobrang discounted na siya at this point in time given all of the things that you've mentioned?
At this point in time, I'm no longer looking at the PE. There are other indicators that we feel more useful as far as deciding as to whether we would be increasing our equities portfolio or not. No? tulad ng, ayun nga, babalik ko yung availability ng vaccine, di ba? And we feel that when these variables are cleared, di ba, people, investors, fund managers, both foreign and local, will be considering re-entering the market again.
The whole context of this video is talking about accumulate now. As people start accumulating, how do they position? Paano nila itatranche yung pagbili nila? I'm asking for yung principles mo that percentage-wise, do they do it? Kunyari, meron silang say 1 million pesos. How do they tranche it percentage-wise? Do they wait per month na ganito or milestones na okay, paglabas ng GDP, it's not as bad, pasok ulit tayo. If it's as bad, taper off muna. Or dapat every October, November, December, we start accumulating continuously lang.
This one I've heard from a very good CIO. The strategy that he gave is about 10 to 15%, which is very prudent because you have no idea what you're getting into. This entry point that we are in right now is a very good entry point already, regardless of the month. So we know the result of shutting down your economy, and that is 16%. You know that moving forward, that 16% retraction, that 9% retraction, it's the worst already. So it's a very gradual movement, diba? That's why you're not supposed to invest 100% agad-agad. But again, the levels right now are very attractive levels. Attractive and reasonable levels already.
How about the remaining cash that you have? What happens to the 90%?
You hold on to it.
What would be your trigger for the next tranche? And would it be 10%, 10%, 10% lagi for the next 6
I will have a target, pare. I would always have a target for the PSEI. Prudently and realistically speaking, you're at 6.2. Diba? But that's the story of 2020. That's the story of 2020. You're now going to 2021. You are starting at a low, very low base, di ba? So more or less, 2021, let's put a target, what we've heard is at 7,000. You're ending the year at 6,000. 6,000 to 7,000, more or less 10%, 12%, 14% return projected for 2021. Which means that any level that is more or less near the level we are in right now, I will accumulate.
Since naman that 10% you have a large amount of cash pa, do you put that in one stock or do you still distribute it pa?
I'll concentrate on sectors. We all know that there are companies that are going to be not as rosy as compared to the other years, diba? There are companies that are really going to get hurt, no? And there are companies that are going to be steady, no? And we more or less know these companies, no? Now, if you will be asking, what are these sectors, no? In the bond market, you go for the defensive, diba? Go for your telcos, no? Well, we've seen how PLDT and Globe perform for this year. Besides their telcos, punta ka sa retail, no? Your Pure Golds, diba? Your URC. You might as well consider also going, looking at the banks again.
You said that there's a target for the index at this point for 2021. What if that target gets hit either on 2021 or even before 2021? Should they stop accumulating already or should they even sell already? What should be their battle plan?
I'll sell it, even if it doesn't really touch my target, for as long as I'm near it or as it reaches it, I'll decrease my position.
Same pa rin, you remove 10%, 10%, 10%, or how do you liquidate naman? What's your style for?
Usually it's higher. Test what's going on in the market. For example, you reach the target of, let's say, 7,000 for 2021. No? There's a reason why you reached it. You have to have that reason be really clear. No? For example, if the reason why it was reached is because the vaccine is available already in the Philippines, then of course you have to trim your portfolio, but not to the extent that selling it by 50%. Because most likely, that price will soar high, which means that people are buying already, even if it doesn't make sense already. You know, yung na-hype na yung index, diba? And you don't want to be positioned in a market that's overhyped already. That's when you slowly go out. But for example, the increase to 7,000 is artificial, which means that technical rebound lang siya, diba? Puro hope pa rin, no? There's news lang that the vaccine will be out, no, then perhaps bigger, perhaps 20%, perhaps 25%, but definitely bigger as compared to when the news is a lot certain.
When you start selling, you keep everything in cash or do you use it to position into another stock already?
I'll keep it in cash first, no. When let's say the PSEI goes to 7,000, let's say, most likely the other stocks are already sold also. I will not at the moment look for other names.
You mentioned that they accumulate slowly today. What's your final words for them?
We know that we are in a bad situation. It's not going to be a fast recovery, but definitely recovery is at the horizon. And when you start investing, always remember to pray so that you will be making the best decision. Buckle up. It's going to be a great ride. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope that this is something that added value and content to all of you. I just have a question. Based on what you've seen, is it okay to accumulate right now or are you still gonna wait? Are you gonna be team hashtag accumulate or are you team hashtag wait? Please put them in the comment section. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. And if you guys have other questions regarding this, feel free to slide a DM on my Instagram or anything in the comment section below. And we're gonna try to make as much videos for you as possible. On the next video, we have Ren coming back again, and I'm gonna show you snippets of it right after this. But he's gonna drill down, are banks actually cheap right now, and what are the things that you need to consider if you are buying banks, because if they are actually cheap or not. Thank you so much to everyone, and I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all. Besides the banks beginning at a low base right now, di ba? If you're going to invest now, you're going a really cheap price. Check out the price to book ratios of the banks. It's a bargain, pare. What would be my ultimate consideration to buy the stock? The weight. The weight in the PSEI.